All right, well then we're gonna definitely proceed with that piece. And of course, before we get started today, we're gonna go through my infamous disclosure that I like to have before we get started. Of course, Chrissy's Voices of Reasons, our organization will invite an array of guests, special guests, to our podcast who will share their personal and or professional perspectives for today's topic. The insight shared is not intended to personally treat, diagnose your condition specifically. If conditions arise beyond what we discussed on this panel today, we ask you to reach out to any of your local agencies or the supports in place. Have questions, you can email us directly and we'll do our best to follow up with that piece. Um, we ask you to remain mindful of their respectful perceptions and views, just as you would like for others to be mindful and respectful of your views. And with that being said, final disclosure that the podcast has definitely been recorded. Any content responded to on this platform by commenting, you've given us consent to display that information, and our guest as well has already completed a podcast agreement, so they're aware of the recording and that the fact that it'll be uploaded online for the community to review. So, topic for today is of course the woes of dating. Wanted to talk about this topic because of course there seems to be a lot of discussion across a lot of platforms in regards to dating. Candid conversations, but I definitely wanted to have a conversation today because from a professional standpoint, Miss T and NFL young boy, I wanted to get your mindset as well regarding dating in today's time. What do you guys feel is the number one reason for relationships failing in today's time? Straight like that.
See, ladies first. See, that's the first thing is, there's no
Uh,
respect in relationships. So I'm going to let
See,
you go first.
okay. I appreciate that. I really do. And I'm thinking I'm just from my own personal experience, I just think the trust factor, and I just believe that people are not coming in with the same mindset. We're not coming in with forever. It's until I can, find better, or until you make me mad or upset. I don't think we have the same, we're not coming in at the same point in the
I,
relationship.
I can agree to some of that. But I feel like now this day and age, it's the city girl mentality. Um, it's what can you do for me, or a lot of people do it like she said for financial gain. No one takes relationships serious anymore. It's like you said, in order to even go on a date, you got to be able to pay a bill first on our side of it. And for me, I mean that's crazy. I could pay all the bills, that I need to pay for you, but at the end of the day, where's that compatibility? Where's the emotion? Where's the feeling? Where's all that coming from? So you can have
Mhm.
all the money in the world, and I can buy you whatever bag you want, but do you love me?
Oh wow. Ooh,
You get what I'm saying? So
you came out with the L word.
what do you mean?
Do you love me? I mean, that right there, I believe, is another thing too. It's kind of like that don't even come out that much like I feel like it should. Express your feelings. Put it out there as far as tell me where you at. I mean, don't leave me out here by myself telling you, I enjoy you, I this, I love you, that, and then you okay, ditto.
Well, see, and that's the problem. Everybody's scared of their feelings because they've already been hurt before.
There
So
you
now,
go.
guess what? Now they're trying to protect themselves, but in the process, they're hurting everyone else.
I think it starts from I look back and how relationships used to be growing up. Okay. And I know all of us is around about the same age. The dating world,
NFL young boy.
Oh Lord, I
I'll
knew.
let him be young at heart, but we all know the truth. Pull out the birth certificate, NFL young boy. Let us see.
Put the proof on the table.
Right.
See, you see
He
the
gonna probably
blurred
come
back.
back.
You see the blurred background. See, now you're trying to get me to put all my stuff out there so they can find out who I am. I'm
You the
like,
one with the mask on. You the one with the mask.
I'm trying to blend into my background.
Oh,
Why it's
okay.
camouflage.
See,
Oh, okay.
I thought he was getting ready to come out with "You're only as young as you feel," but
He
if
gonna.
you're young
I'm
from
gonna
that.
keep my comments to
I,
myself.
I was going. I was waiting. I was waiting.
But me, I look back at how dating used to be growing up, like not even growing up, but even as a child, and then going up into the stages that I started dating. Like, I feel like people had more motive and drive to date. There were more attempts made behind dating. There were more there was more effort done behind dating. And over time, I don't know if it's because of relationship dynamics with families, the construct that's in place, where you did have mother and father in a home setting, the sort of even though you may have a little tiptoeing out every now and then, the whole construct of the setting was more solid. Kids were able to watch and see what it at least looked like to some extent with their parents. And most of that is they desired that type of relationship
Hmm.
growing up. Now I feel like that's changed because now you have a lot of broken families. You have extended families now. Like, so, your main family's broken up. Now this person is with another person. And even the same relationship issues that was in place in the first relationship is now being repeated in the second relationship.
Hmm.
My That's why I feel like a lot of the relationship barriers I feel like is coming in. There's a mixture of the new and the old mixed
Mm.
together, and like oil and water, it don't mix.
Well, if you pay attention, things seem to. I'm pulling out my second mic. I want to make sure everybody can hear me. You know what I'm saying? So if you pay attention, everything repeats itself. So like you said, we grew up with both parents in the home. We grew up by our grandparents. You never saw anything any different. Nowadays, everyone goes. Society has changed. You know, everybody's glorifying. What is it? Not fake it till you make it, but the party of me or just do you and things like that. And like I
Hmm.
said, it goes back to all these images that are being depicted. You don't see the families anymore. You see the single woman that can do it all. Which, granted, I don't hate on that by any means. And then you see the man that's doing it. It just it does not promote family anymore. Everything is about you
Mm.
entrepreneurship. You know, um, do you protect your peace? It's just one person. That's all. Everything. If you listen, everything is being put out as one, not a whole, not a family, or not. It takes two. Like where's Rob Bass and Easy Rock now? It takes two to make a thing go right. Now everything is the opposite. Am I lying? When
I,
was the
No,
last time you
you're
heard that on radio?
no,
you're
I'm
not.
following you. I'm following you
I'm
with
just
that.
saying, society has changed. So now everybody's going with the flow. Everybody's going with everything that's going on right now. So eventually, we're going to come back full circle to where this gets old, this fad is over with, and this trend is over with. But we'll probably be long gone before that happens. And right now, we're just going through the motions. Everybody's trying to protect their peace. Everybody's trying not to get hurt. Everybody's trying to just do them. Everybody's trying to live their life. No one
Hmm.
wants to. No one wants to be bogged down or feel like they have to answer to anyone because now that's a bad thing. No one wants to check with anyone or ask permission to do anything. But back in the day, guess what? That was the norm. Hey, hun,
Was
me and the guys want to go play ball. Is that all right? Now,
as a
if you
respect
ask,
thing.
but exactly, that's why I say no one takes relationships serious anymore. Now, if you got to check, your boys are gonna clown y'all. You whip, you hen picked or whatever you want to call it. Or you soft or you got to check in. You know. So now, guess what? Now you want to be a man. Oh man, I do what I want to do. Then guess what? When you come back home, you're on the couch. Same thing with women. Your girls the same way. Oh, you just let him do what he want to do. He just, you know what I'm saying? So it's society. Am I lying?
Society and ego. Society and egos. It sounds like people's ego is greater than what like doing the right thing looks like, or doing what is not the norm. Um, I want to go back to a piece he said earlier about the whole independent woman concept. Because
Oh
that's
my.
at the end of the day, I stand on that heavily as an independent woman, as a single woman, as a single mother. Relationship dynamics in place. Yes, women have been pushed down that avenue that where they have to be more independent. But my question is, have people sat and thought about what has pushed people in that corner to where they have to come off as a strong, independent woman?
Miss T, any comments before I grab the mic again?
I'm flowing with Cassetta on Chrissy on that, because it's like when you have to participate in that role, you can't be double-minded to the point of I need a man in the midst of, well, I got to go out here and do what I got to do. You got to stand solid on one side. And so I'm on that side of, like this, I can do bad by myself now. I'm gonna handle my responsibilities. I'm gonna do what I can do for my situation. I'm not gonna wait on a man to come by and help me pay my bills and things like that. I want to put out there that it's a thing. Wait a minute. Why you leave the camera? Why you leave the camera?
His whole body has shifted.
I'm looking
This
at it to
on.
the point of, you got to see me. You know what I'm saying? Don't you want to see me handling this instead of waiting on you to come by and say, you know what? I need my rent paid. I need my car fixed. Instead, you come by and see me, beep beep. I got it together. Oh, okay, my rent's paid. You don't have to come in and save me. I thought that was, ain't that the way to
I
go? Ain't
thought
that
that's what they
attractive?
wanted.
But
Ain't
see,
that attractive?
at the end of the
I
day,
thought it was.
that's see, this is what I'm talking about. That's where everything get flipped, twist, misunderstood. Because you said
Okay.
you don't want to stand and wait on a man. No one said you had to wait on a man. But at the end of the day, if you need a man and there's something that needs to be done, you have to allow him the opportunity to be able to do that.
Brother, I'm gonna
But
let him be the man. I'm gonna let him do.
you just said you're not. You said I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I have to stand on this new thing called business. But at the end of the day, we're talking about relationships.
Okay,
And
in
if
the
you are doing everything on your own, then what do you need a relationship for?
uh-uh, uh-uh. When you want one, when I want one, you see what I'm saying? When I want a relationship and I welcome a man in my life, I don't want it to him to come in and it's as if he got to come in and it's like, okay, pick up all my stuff and save me. I want to be that helpmate to the point of, okay, I got you. I got your back. I got this. You got mine. I got you. Not coming in to the point of, okay, well, this need to be paid. That need to be paid. No, I want to come in to the point of, oh, okay, I'm working with something. And I can say the same thing about him. I'm working with something.
And that is true. But that's why I said now, if you listen to every other song that comes on the radio, it's nothing about a helpmate. Can you pay my bills? Can you buy me this Birkin? Or can you fly me out?
Mm-hmm.
Where does it say, let's go walk and hold hands together? Like Jill Scott, let's take a long walk. Yes, I'm dropping gems
You dropping gems, sir. But are you a let's take a long walk kind of guy though?
all day, every day.
When you watching the NBA or the NFL, and I want to go walk.
Oh, speak.
What do you mean? Yeah.
When
His
you
game
watching the
his
NFL
game's
or
on
what?
right now and I am on a podcast
Okay. When if I say I'm ready to go walk,
to
let's
help
go
depict
walk.
to help let's go where we walking.
We can walk around the block. It don't matter. Long as you and I are spending that quality time together. I'm just
And,
saying, don't pick
and
and
that's what
choose when you want me to be, into when you ain't got nothing to do and going on. But when you watching something and busy or whatever, and I'm kind of like, "Ah, when are you gonna spend that quality time? It's
That part.
the
That
time is
part.
always
Look, they
there.
got
And
the
see,
head on swivel, Miss
that's what I'm
Taylor.
talking
Give it
about.
to them.
She's not giving me anything because she still ain't answered the question.
wait,
So like I said, at the end of the day, it sounds to me like that's the only time you need a man is when you need some quality time. That's what it
no,
sounds like. You said you want to make sure you
no,
take care of everything. So let me ask you
no,
this,
no,
Miss
no,
T.
no.
I'm gonna
Quality.
pick that one up, Miss Taylor. I'm gonna pick that one up, Miss T.
Okay.
Quality time is one component of many when it comes to dating. And that's the part people want to pick and choose what parts they want to entertain when it comes to dating and not understand that your personal needs and what you need as a person may not be the personal needs that I have. So can you meet me halfway? So during that time period where you want to rip and run and you want to do what you need to do for your personal stuff, have you taken the time to consider what's needed to water and feed me as a woman to make sure that I keep that same energy towards the man I'm entertaining, and that way we stay on the same level field? The problem is people go and say, I don't have time for X, Y, and Z because I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, and not realizing that every time that you take away from spending time or communicating or sharing insight, even about, because one thing I will say with people, and I'm not even gonna make it a gender thing, is communication. Communication is the biggest woes when it comes to dating. So that's the parts that's needed for relationships to grow and thrive. But people want to pick certain components out of it and say this is a reason. No, there's other reasons. You may have your personal reasons why the relationship hasn't lasted, but what about those other pieces that your partner is missing out on that you don't think is as important, but is the foundation to who they are and is the foundation that they feel like they need to thrive as a person that's been neglected. That's my word right there. I tell people real quick, I'm feeling neglected.
I'm waiting for you to pick that one up.
You know,
I'm waiting for you to pick that one up. Communicate. How well are you as being a communicator?
he
Is
may
he?
have his he may have is he I don't know if is your mic out? I think he's talking. I think his mic is out.
I think he's talking too.
Was. I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah. So, like I was saying, I'm only
It's
one
that face
person.
mask that was blocking the sound, but go ahead.
See, this is what I'm talking about, the lack of respect. You know what I'm saying? I'm only one person. I cannot speak for all men, but at the end of the day, as a whole, we get the bad rep. Yes, we're supposed to do the courting. We're supposed to do the pursuing and showing and the wooing at the end of the day, correct? But if we come to you and we try to come to you correct, for one, nowadays we're either getting turned away because you've already been hollered at 50, 11 other times, or you're not trying to waste your time because you already know where this is going, or we only want something out of it. So it's up to you guys to let down that, to at least give us a fair shot. And that's what's not being done. If you go out right now and you're at a bar and you're just sitting there and the guy asks to buy you a drink, you're automatically thinking, oh, what is he gonna want if I take this drink? You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's what I see. It's not
Mhm.
that someone's actually just being nice and doing a nice gesture or wanting to actually get to know you. You're already like, he think he finna get. No, that's not it. I'm just being nice. I had a homeboy the other day, literally opened the door for a woman to tell her she smelled nice, and she just, and I know why. She's a very attractive woman, and she gets probably hollered at all day long. So guess what? When it's time for a actual man to be a man, he gets put down because of all the other things that she has had to deal with, and that's not our fault.
I got that.
See,
And that's
I
hard for
agree.
us to get past because guess what? We're not going to keep beating a dead horse. I can pursue you and be there and do all the things, but guess what? At the end of the day, you're just like the rest. So how do I change that
Mm.
narrative? How do I change that narrative as a man when you're not even trying to change your perspective on me?
Well,
Like
the
that.
whole concept of about being like the rest, I think at the end of the day, you have a lot of damaged individuals that's
Yeah,
been
on both
damaged through
sides.
relationship on
Mhm.
both sides. On both sides,
Mhm.
you have relationship trauma, and then you trail it back because people think stuff that's happened in the past should not be relevant in today's time. When in actuality, that's far from the truth. You have people, the foundation of who we are, I say, is ingredients to who I am as a person, who Miss P is as a person, as NFL young boy is as a person, is rooted all the way back to our childhood. It's rooted back to how we were taught to treat the opposite sex or even our parents, because you have some individuals, they were never taught to respect their parents from the beginning. So you take all of these damaged individuals and people have the mindset that I don't want to entertain a certain type of behavior. Okay, how can you put limits on what to entertain, when not to entertain, when everyone is struggling with something? People have the mindset of,
Mm.
I don't want to entertain your nonsense, but at the end of the day, I want you to entertain mine. When if we took the
Wow.
opportunity, if we took the opportunity to say, okay, I know you're struggling in this capacity. You get what I'm saying? Like I know he has a hard time with communicating. I know he has a hard time with being empathetic. And yeah, I'm not saying that that's your toll to take as a person, but when we have kids, do we take that mindset when our kids go through certain struggles in life and they go through certain traumas when it comes to school age? Do we go off and say, oh, well, I'm not going to say we all, because there are some parents is dysfunctional that will cut their kids off. And I'm
Oh,
going to say it
Mhm,
just like that,
mhm,
but straight like that. But at the end of the day, that's not how it's supposed to be. Like as a parent, when our kids are damaged, we nurture them, we wound them back as much as we can. So why can't that same mentality be when it comes to relationships? Yeah, I know as an individual, even as a woman, I'm not perfect. I have my flaws. I've had my traumatic relationships when it comes to
mhm.
dating, because at the end of the day, people so focus on self gratification, on what it looks like from the physical aspect, rather than worrying about how, as a woman, I'm nurturing you mentally, that you feel the need to bleed on me. And now I'm having to clean up the damage. So I get that piece. But it takes a strong man to understand that whatever flaws, whatever imperfections I have as a woman, if you see value in me, I don't care about the outside structure of the body, baby. The paint may be a little discolored, but at the end of the day, how does that engine and transmission run?
Okay then. Okay then. I like that. I
I do
do.
too. That's why I
I
said it.
think I think it's the exchange of emotional baggage. It's like I know I'm not gonna meet someone that's free and clear, and it's kind of like he's never had any, bang ups or whatever. It's kind of like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm coming in with some stuff, and I know he's
Right.
coming in with some stuff, and it's kind of like, are you able to handle my stuff as I take on your stuff?
but see,
And
that's the
it's like,
thing. No one wants to do that. No one wants to do that. No one. And
Nobody
what I hear
wants
in
to.
circles
Why?
is, I, I can answer that. What I hear in circles is that I'm not finna raise a man, or I'm not finna build you up for the next B, and you know what I'm saying, things like that. Why can't you build them up for yourself? Because already that mentality is in your head, is that a man's gonna come in as soon as you get him to where, like you said, you nurture him and you care for him, you change his, like you make him feel like a man, he's gonna run off. So guess what? You
But
don't
that's
put forth the effort anymore. But that is the mindset of some of the women that I have encountered in talking to them and in different circles and conversations and asking about why relationships fail now. You know why? Because they see a man that has his struggles, that has been down and everything else. But what are the reasons why he's down? Is it because
mhm.
the last woman did him dirty? You don't see that. All you see is the man that's out here struggling and you don't want to take care of him. No,
well,
a lot of us don't need to be taken care of.
That word right there kind of just did something with my, it just made me itch when you
We,
said take care of him. Now nurturing and showing him love and caring for him enough to where I can, hey, I got you, that type of thing. But taking care of him as far as while I go get it, you you not contributing, or you being more on me than I need at this moment. I know, but it's more or less as far as his emotional, and it's like I'm here for that. I'm here for that. But I
are
hear
you
the
really
word.
here for that? Because what I hear also is it's not okay for a man to have feelings. It's not okay for a man to express his feelings.
That's what
no,
you hear from me.
I didn't get
No, that's
that.
what I hear from women.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
So,
we're
but
hold
you
on.
can't
The roles have reversed. The women, you know, y'all, and now the men are soft. So we're in our soft girl era to hear y'all tell it.
Soft girl era.
Am I lying?
You're not lying. It's just more or less. I like that though. I like it to where it's like, tell me where you
You
at.
are
Tell me,
one. You are one in. If I could put my toes up here, I would. Everybody's not like that, and
don't
that's the
do that.
problem.
I
Oh,
Don't.
cut it out. You
that's
know
what
what?
I like to
That's
hear.
another
I like to
podcast.
hear.
Put your feet on the camera. That's another podcast. We got to charge for that one. Especially after dark.
Oh my gosh.
at the at the end of the day, I don't want us to take it from a one-sided stance as far as how Miss T operates as a woman, or how I operate as a woman, or how NFL young boy operates as a man. I think looking at it from a wide range of what I've seen, even out, not just on a personal level, but just professionally with providing therapy and counseling with individuals, people mistaken people will mistaken like a fear for a, like, like it's dismissive or they don't want to. A lot of times I come across women, they desire to do certain things, but when you've had a certain trend of behaviors that's been repeated over and over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
that becomes the norm. And then that norm, the thing is now later it becomes a trigger. We're going into psychology. We get ready to go, Miss D, Miss T, you with me?
Yeah, I'm
So
with
now you have certain behaviors that a guy or a woman may display, and their mind automatically goes to this looks similar to X, Y, and Z. So it's
you.
not a matter of someone not wanting to, it's a matter of, okay, I'm fearful of being hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
People, it's no differently. Relationships, if you go out and you've been bit by a dog, you're not going to just openly and blatantly put yourself out there to see if the next dog is going to bite you. You're going to put up a
Mm-hmm.
guard until that reservation comes down to where you know this dog may not present the same way as the other dog you got bit by. And
Different
so
speed.
it's different species, but the concept is still the same.
Mm-hmm.
I think we skipped over one main aspect of this whole podcast and some of these
What's
questions
that?
that we're asking. There's one common denominator in all these things.
Uh-oh.
What brings the drama, what brings the trauma, and also the hurt. Yes, you
Mm-hmm.
will protect yourself. That's your self defense
Mm-hmm.
mechanism or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you keep encountering all these same types of men and women and you keep ending up on the short end of the stick, sometimes we have to look in that mirror and look at ourselves and fix us before we try to get into anything else. Because, like you said,
I like that.
because
I
like you
like that.
said, and on both sides, if we keep doing the same things, we're going to keep getting the same results
It's
until
same
you do
outcome.
something different. Until exactly, so it's one common denominator in that, and that is you on both
Mm-hmm.
sides. As a
Mm-hmm.
man,
Definitely. So,
if you keep attracting a certain type of women that use you and only want you for this, guess what? Then stop putting yourself out there like that. As a woman, if you keep attracting all these deadbeats and guys who say the right things, guess what? Go find someone that don't say the right things. Well, not find them,
right.
but let them find you. You know, that
Mm-hmm.
one Steve Urkel that's been on you since high school. Guess what? Steve turned into Steven, did he not?
Stephen Urkel, yes he did. Yes
Exactly.
he
You
did.
see what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all I'm saying. We got to look at ourselves sometimes because we create our own dramas.
I like
We
the
do.
way you said that because with my last experience, and it was hurtful when I actually, how you just sit and you be like, why is this coming around to me again? When I looked at it, I was like, you know what? If I'm attracting exactly what I see in the mirror, I need to heal some more. When you
Yeah.
keep healing and you keep healing and working on you and this and that, what you see, what you feel, what starts coming into your life is a reflection of your healing. And that right there is kind of like, wow, if I want a different caliber of a man, then I got to be a different caliber of a woman.
Exactly.
So I get
Well,
exactly what you're saying. If I'm gonna be broke, disgusted, and busted most of my life, then I'm not changing. I'm not moving. I'm just, letting things happen upon me. But as I heal, as I work on me, as I increase me and all of that, my whole crowd and people, and when he find me, he gonna find someone that matches him. And that's what I'm like, you know what? That right there, that's what I'm after.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's what.
Not for the. I'm not healing for the purpose of finding a man. I'm healing for the purpose of, whatever I attract in my life at this point in time, I'm just excited about what's coming.
yeah.
I like it.
And
I like it.
that takes on the concept of healing you rather than waiting for your partner to do most of the work on their. I think I've come across some individuals that have the mindset that if this person can't do X, Y, and Z for me, then what purpose do they have in my life? And I have to remind them at the end of the day, it's not someone else's job to fix you. I
That
understand at the end of the day that whatever problems you're dealing with, whatever traumas you've been dealing with, is not your fault either because these are other
mm-hmm,
individuals that's been manipulative, that's downright dirty, that has
mm-hmm,
come in and manipulated you in a way or just whatever it is, just self gratification. I personally like to call them predators because at the end of the day, your purpose is not intended for that person in a positive way. You see something that you want, and so you give that other person what they need so that you can obtain what you want and don't care about the aftermath of it. So what I tell people at the end of the day, you have to take a step back, slow things down. In today's time with dating, everything is on fast speed. Everything is on fast speed. Everything's based upon, oh girl, he got the nicest car, or hey dude, you see that apple bottom she got, or oh she done got and went across seas and got her body done, and that's their drive for picking a mate. That's their
Mhm.
drive for uh entertaining a certain caliber of a woman or a man. At the end of the day, I tell people look at me weird when I say this, because I have my own criteria when it comes to dating of things that I look for
Oh, you do?
with dating. Oh, I do. People want me to spill, but I
I
won't spill. I
do.
mean,
Mhm.
you have to. You
Mhm.
have to
Pineapples.
raise. Oh God, I hate you.
That's his safe word.
That's his safe word, but that's. Look, I done got lost because he just said the word pineapple. Um, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I can't even gather myself because that just threw me for a loop. At the end of the day, people have to slow things down. 'Cause I tell people all the time, like, um, I have this mindset, like people want to move fast. I'm like, okay, I don't want to move fast. I want to move slow. I
Mhm.
need to see because at the end of the day, your representative is only gonna sit first and foremost for a certain period of time before the real you start to spill out. You can't hold up a line
Mhm.
but so long. So let me prolong this. At the end of the day, yeah, you may have a gorgeous smile, you may have a nice body, you may drive a nice car, you may have a nice house, you may have money, you may have more money than I have. That's fine at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, if your money is going to bring me more havoc than my peace of mind, I don't want it. Okay. But giving time to take place, what is it, Miss T? Like 6 months to a year that people start to come out with who they are and that representative starts to fall off, and you learn whether or not they have a temperament in place or whether or not they're wanting to deal with you, or whether or not it's one of those things like now you irritate them. You give things time enough, you will soon learn who you're dealing with. And then when you learn
Yes.
who you're dealing with, you haven't poured so much time and energy or your body or yourself into someone that was never supposed to take place in the first place.
Mhm. Mhm.
NFL
Cassandra,
young boy look like he about ready to roll over there. I'm curious to see what he got to say.
it's like
Um,
standards. It's like relationship standards. Do we even have them anymore? I like the way you brought that in. It's kind of like you have a certain criteria of what you're looking for. I
Hmm.
have I got a checklist. Can you do, do they meet this? Do they meet that? Do I feel
excuse,
this way
excuse
when
me,
I'm around?
ladies. Excuse me, ladies. Let me interject if I may. Y'all on y'all soapbox right now. Y'all standing on business. I'm about to push both of y'all down.
Go ahead.
So at the end of the day, while y'all got all y'all checklists, y'all criterias, all this and all this, check this box, and all this, and wait 2 years down the line, it's not our plan. You got to keep that in mind. What is for you is going to be for you. No matter how long you try to delay it, no matter how fast it is, because back in the day it used to be, you know what you are attracted to, you know what you like, and you know what makes your heart skip, beats, flutter, run through daisies like Little House on the Prairie, whatever. You know that. When you get that feeling, you know that. You can't fight that feeling. So who is to say, even if they hadn't checked off with 5 of your 10 boxes, but you feel the way that you feel? You can't put a time frame on how you feel or emotions. They happen when they happen. So you can have all those boxes and none of them be checked off, and you still feel the way that you feel because someone has come into your life and has shown you something different, whether it's real or fake. And that's the hard part. And a lot of people don't want to take that chance. And my thing is this: even when I said before, we have to take a look at ourselves in the mirror and change who we are. But at the end of the day, like you say, it takes how should I say this? You say it doesn't take long for someone's true self to come out. They were who they were in the beginning or whatever. At
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, we can't change who we are either. Just because we are damaged goods, like I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm not gonna stop being a hopeless romantic. You know how hard it is to be in a relationship with someone that doesn't like to cuddle? Or if you're a person that likes to do certain things and the woman that you're dating or anything like that doesn't, you know, you're not being true to yourself. Now you're just going through the motions. Now you're just being in that relationship. So if I say, you know what? like Miss T, if I say, you know what, okay, maybe I should change who I am, guess what? Then I'm not being true to myself.
I got that.
You get what I'm saying? So
I do.
trying
I,
to adapt or trying to protect yourself, it can also hurt you in the long run because now you're masking who you really are. Now you're changing to adhere to want something that's not really what you want.
hmm
But
With
see,
that,
that's why go ahead, because I was getting ready to go back because I think it was a misunderstanding as far as what he was thinking as far as the criteria. I wanted to go
and
back
the
on that piece.
time frames and all of
Yeah.
that. No,
Yeah, I
it's
think there's a
like,
misunderstanding on that piece. But go ahead.
if you meet someone and it's kind of like, you know what, you have studied her and this and that, it's kind of like in your mind, it's like, okay, it's a stretch for me, but I'm gonna try. It's kind of like a thing of, if I'm with a guy and he's trying to meet all my needs and try to get me to see him in a certain kind of way and just trying and trying and trying and not being his true self. I think that's what I gathered from what Chrissy was saying, to the point of, after a while, you're gonna get tired and you're gonna really show up and be who you are.
How
You're
do
not
you
gonna be
know?
soft spoken and you're not gonna be all that. You're gonna have put a little bit more bass in your voice when
Right.
you say no, no, I'm not doing it. It's
How
kind
do
of
you
like,
know this?
how
How
do
do
I
you know
know
this?
this?
Yes, how do you know this?
Now this one right here, I'm gonna
Miss
have to.
Cleo, Miss Cleo, your cousin?
It's not so much. It's only so much that you can put up as far as a facade, because you really want the relationship to work. You really want to be
Mhm.
with this person, but at the end of the day, when the
See,
mask
You
come
are who
off,
you are.
when the
oh,
mask come off,
so you want to talk about taking the mask off? See, Chrissy, I was trying not to
Oh,
do this.
hold on. Before you even go there, because I already know where you getting ready to go. Let me go and correct you because he getting ready to cut up, Miss T.
oh,
He getting ready to cut up, and you can tell by his body over there rolling like a Swiss
oh yeah,
roll that he's getting ready to cut up. So let me go back real quick. Look at him, his hand out. Let me go back real quick on like what we were sharing earlier about the time and the criteria. The criteria goes back to what you said specifically about you being a hopeless romantic and being with someone who isn't, that you're looking to cuddle. Those are the things as far as the criteria that you want to try to gather as close to your mate as close as possible. Because if they're showing you from the beginning, based upon having a criteria in place, it's not saying that, oh, I have this high standard of things that I expect from my partner, and it means there's no hope for him to be able to get in. No, that's not
mhm,
what I'm saying. Me, you're hopeless romantic. So you want to find someone that can cater to you from that aspect, because eventually it's going to come down to you in that relationship. You're going to be upset and like, where you don't give me this, and this, when they showed you from the very beginning who they are. Me on my end, I tell people, well, some people know, I say my love language is time. You can't buy me a gift that's going to get me to woohoo now over in time. Yeah. But thinking you're just going to buy me, thinking you're going to be able to just buy me, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. Me, it shows me more effort that you're willing to sacrifice certain things, that you're willing to put certain things
mm,
aside to show that I have just as much value as that NFL game, or as the homies that you want to go hang out with, or I shouldn't be one of those things that you pick me up when you're bored or when you have nothing to do with your friends, and then now is you want to entertain me. That makes me feel a particular way, because then it's like, okay,
I feel like this is
okay,
turning ugly. I feel like
how's
this
it
is being
turning ugly? That's
because
a
I feel like
criteria.
this is being directed toward men because now you're singling out NFL games and stuff like that. What about women
No,
that go over their girls' house all the time to drink
and we
wine
can definitely go
and all
there, but
this
we're
and all
using
that?
myself as an example. So I'm not catering to just,
This is a
to
podcast
directing it
on
towards
both
men.
sides,
It's
not
definitely both
not
sides, but
Chrissy's dating service.
again, I use this as an example. I use this as an example of using myself. That's why I have a criteria place. Not that I have all these high standards in place that no one can ever reach. But if I know from the beginning that you don't come with these certain skills or certain things that I know that is going to make the relationship work, it's not worth me entertaining you from the beginning. And that goes, and like, as a
Chrissy,
friend of mine said, it's not gender specific. That goes both ends. You as a man, let's switch it up then. You as
okay,
a man,
I
you
got you.
as a
Hold on,
man, you as
Chrissy,
a man.
aka Cassetta.
Now
You
I
take
know what
calls
you
at
girls
nine
go
o'clock
through.
at night. What if we at the house and we're trying to watch a movie? Oh, you got to go jump on a call at 9 o'clock at night. I feel some type of way. You've been working all day. When we gonna get our quality time? You take now. Tell me you don't take calls all day and all night.
Who? Me? That's my work. But if my man is around, them calls, them work calls.
If they on your calendar, you still answer them.
On my calendar. If I'm making time with my man, I shouldn't have my man and my calendar mixed together.
What time do you get off today?
At my normal work schedule. But again, my
What
man
time?
or whoever
Hold on.
is not
Answer the
here.
question. What time did you get off today?
What time did I get off today? I got off today. I did 2 sessions. So technically I got off today about 4 or 5, but I
What time did
logged
you get
on to
off
get to them.
yesterday?
Technically, why are you putting me on
I'm,
blast?
I
That
know.
is
I'm
the
just asking.
question.
I'm just asking general questions.
My typical day of getting off from work is about 8:30
At night,
p.m.
starting when?
Starting when what?
What time
Every
does your
day.
day start? What time does your
My
day
day
start?
my day starts at 8 o'clock.
So you run at 8 to 8. As a
Yeah, I
man,
got
I
bills.
work. Yeah, but as a man, I come home at 5 o'clock. I have to sit around for 3 hours waiting on you to get some
But
time,
see,
and
you
then by the
can't
time
use
you get off,
me.
you have to digress.
Hold
No,
up.
but
Hold
you
up.
are the one who
Hold
said,
up. Wait
I
a
need
minute.
time. Your love language is time, like you said. You don't have it.
But is there someone filling that void to where I can't that I need to cut my time off to fill that?
Pineapples. I don't know.
Oh
Pineapples. I don't
He's
want
God.
to
about
know that.
pineapples.
You
I don't want to know
I'm
that.
quick shots.
I don't want to know that.
Pineapple.
The
You're my
problem
cousin. I
is,
don't want to know that.
right, my cousin. At the end, that's why he's throwing the slick shots, T, because I know what pineapples mean. So listen. When pineapples, when pineapples is available, then pineapples
Miss
will
T,
have the
Miss
time.
T, Miss T, please say something. Please say something.
I'm
Please say
sitting here
something.
and I'm just like, woo.
Hold on. Matter of fact, you trying to distract me from what I was going to say. So,
No, because you was
like
getting
Miss,
ready to go
like
ugly.
Miss, like Miss T said, when that mask comes off,
Oh gosh,
then you get to
Miss
see
T,
who they really are. So
Miss T.
I'm gonna take a shot from my guys. I'm being double teamed here. So at the end of the day, we meet this
Oh
woman.
God.
You know, um, we're dating her. She looks a certain way. After a while,
Oh, gosh.
the wigs go on the shelf, the makeup come off,
Uh-huh.
and you're not the same person. How are we supposed to feel then? Because I feel like catfish.
Wow.
Oh, you see, Miss.
Wow.
No, you presented something,
Okay.
and now it's gone.
Okay.
Granted, it can come back every morning, but it leaves every day.
Okay.
I
Now you
cannot.
see,
Hey,
you know how we were
don't
saying,
worry, fellas. I got your back.
you know how we were saying earlier about having those when the mask come off and this and that. You have that time. You have that time to
Mm-hmm.
see, wait a minute now, how many times is she gonna take her hair off and put it on the shelf and take her makeup off before you realize, this is not what I signed up for. So it's that's what I was getting from Chrissy, to the point of the list and things like that. It's not so much as putting y'all to where you got to meet a
Right.
certain standard before we get started. It's just at least to qualify for me even putting my time in this. I'm not coming in here and I got 10 items and you only meet 2. That's not fair to you. And it's definitely not fair to my time, because I'm like, no, I don't want to waste your time, and please don't waste mine.
But then that goes back to what I said earlier about, and this is I'm gonna say men and women, but because
Mm-hmm.
you know, but that goes back to people basing these quality factors with a relationship based upon what's externally when you haven't had conversation to get to know that person. Like, what is the heart and mind and like? Are they the one that's gonna bring you peace? Because at the end of the day, a wig and lashes ain't gonna bring you peace. That's just a little side trophy to put on your hip while you walking down the street. But is that girl gonna hold you down when you lost your job and you can't make ends meet? Is she gonna sit there and throw it in your face that you're less than a man? But people want to entertain a woman that comes with those other quality traits, and they're focused on the size of the buttocks, or whether or not her wig is glued on correctly, or whether or not her lashes is too big for her face. But she can have the biggest heart there is that will
See,
give you
this
the shirt off
sounds
her back.
this sounds like we're being targeted again, guys.
No,
You
you're
went
not.
that
You're
from
not
to the
being
target.
targeted,
Did
sir.
he not
we
go there
we
with the whole wig and lashes?
He
we
Is that
don't.
did.
not where that
He
he
did.
went there?
You
He
went
went
there.
there.
You
Yes,
went there.
because y'all talked about we're gonna show our ugly faces after a while. You said we're gonna put up this
See,
good front. Hold
you
on.
dirty.
You said these men
You
are gonna put
dirty.
up this good front, and all of
You
a
dirty.
sudden we're gonna turn back into Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde. Y'all said that. You said for the first 3 months we're gonna be Prince
No, no, no,
Charming
no,
Y'all
and
no,
gonna
all
no,
be
no,
these
no,
other.
on it.
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
now
No,
y'all
I'm
gonna be
not
on
talking
it.
about hair and
And
makeup. We're talking about the
I know,
mentality and how they treat you.
and that's what
Y'all
I'm
have an
saying.
agenda. It's an agenda. Women have it too.
Whoa,
We
whoa,
have agendas.
okay. I was going to say, wait a minute. We got just
We have
us.
it too. We have agendas. We looking like, we meet somebody, we kind of like, oh, okay. Now this is me. I'm like, can I see him in different parts of my life? Can I see him as, somebody that I wake up to every morning? Can I see him as, somebody I'll serve a good one and I will follow, and he got a vision and he going somewhere and he gonna take me with him and we can agree. I'll follow a good one. But one that don't have a vision, and one that's not good with money, one that's
Can't
this
be
and that.
trusted.
No, that's already qualifications I'm not looking for. I'm looking for
Dismissal.
someone. I look at how he treats his mama. I look at those things to the point of how he treats people in the community. It's kind of like, is he rude to a waitress? Just people in service. How does he serve? Those are the things I'm looking at without him even knowing that I'm looking. It ain't about
They
how
know.
how he roll, how he dress, and all of that. Oh, that's got to get my attention in the beginning anyway. It's just those things that I'm like, well, he ain't really trying to see or act as if, I got to put on, I got to do this. I'm looking at him in those moments where, wow, he really did just do that. He really just, helped that lady, change her tire and she didn't even ask. I'm looking at those things.
Or did
It's
he
not so
hold the
much
door
as,
for?
it's not just
But
me
see,
saying,
when you say things like that, I have also seen women say, "Oh, you just held her door so you can look at her butt."
they
But you have,
shallow.
I
Hold
think,
on. I'm just saying. Then, if a man is a man, chivalry is not dead, and we go to help a woman like that. Oh, you're over there flirting. Why would you over there with her? Or if I can't answer my phone because I'm on the side of the road changing tire now, it's little things
I got
that
you.
work on both sides. So that's what I'm saying. We have to, like you said in the very beginning, come into this together with one common goal and not worry about self. And right now, that's all these relationships are about is what can
worry
you
about
do for
yourself.
me
Yeah.
and what can I do to benefit from this relationship,
Mhm.
regardless of who feelings I have to hurt. But once we get back to the old traditional ways of courting and dating and actually marriage being the end game, we're never gonna have any good relationships.
But the problem is right now because I'm gonna say this from a male side and a female side.
Well, how can you
Back in
say
the
it
day,
from a male side?
listen, let me finish the statement first before you come at me. Look, yeah, put the mic down. Put the mic down. I got the mic. See this thing right here? I got the mic. At the end of the day, even culturally, we had leaders in the community, and the younger ones looked up to the older ones for wisdom and guidance. That has played itself out. Now you have individuals, both sides, men and women, that you have the older ones wanting to be like the younger ones, and it's a blind leading the blind. So
Mhm.
trying to get back to a place that has sort of lost its way because older individuals, the elders of the community, is so focused on trying to live young, and you 55 years old sagging your pants, or you 55 years old and you sitting here twerking on television on camera, and then you're expecting for young women and men to follow you to relationship dynamics. We're never going to get there, and that's the
Mm-mm.
problem.
Mm-mm.
I
I
said
agree.
it, Chrissy, signed off, period, no comma.
I really get that, and I like. I would love to have as far as courting, that word we hear it, but that is like a concept of wow. I'm not familiar with it because in my growing up, it's kind of like, well, how do you really do it to the point of that? Right, that type of wisdom is needed. It really is. And when we date
It's
now,
needed.
it's kind of like a thing of the online dating. I'm not. I'm over it. It's like tried it, done that, and no.
Let
Mm-mm.
me let me ask you ladies a question. Y'all like the Cheesecake Factory?
I love it.
I
I don't
do.
Okay.
eat cheesecake, but I go there and eat though.
But now, so now you get what I'm saying. So now there was a list put out of places not to take a woman on a date, and the Cheesecake Factory was one of them. So this is what I'm saying. Who makes these lists to say that that is how you court a woman? Guess
I
what? It comes from these women, these new age women, telling you,
don't.
I don't want to go here. You got to take me to State 48 that you got to make a 9-month reservation for, and it's $100 a plate. Guess what? Where's the courting at in that?
Let me go back. Let me go back because at the end of the day, it is these women that's coming off with that mindset criteria. Me, at the end of the day, I would prefer a picnic in the park where you went and put the time and energy behind, and
But
we're
guess
sitting
what?
here talking and listening. Hold on, let me finish. But at the end of the day, you have to find and ask yourself because there's one feeding off the other. You got these women that have the mindset that they have this criteria because I'm a baddie, in which everybody and their mom is almost a baddie. I've come across 60-year-old women as baddies, and at the end of the day, they don't have that mindset. But you have to also look at the men that's feeding into this energy of making these women feel like they even have the opportunity and chance. If you cut off the supply of making them feel like they even have a chance of saying, okay, well, I'm gonna take you to this high-end restaurant, and then she feels like that she's entitled to it just based upon how she looks. Whose fault is that? It's both. She's
Man,
had the mentality.
half of them need to be in the drive-through.
I cannot.
Get that 5 for 5.
I can, and see, I can
Matter of
meet.
fact, you know what? I'll DoorDash you. How about that? You stay at the house. We'll
Oh
talk
my
work.
God,
We'll talk on the phone. I'll DoorDash you something to eat. But no, but seriously, like you say, it goes both ways. Yet again,
it
like
does.
as a man, I'm looking at this list. Guess what? This doesn't even make me want to approach a woman because guess what? I'm a hardworking man. Not trying to be funny, but at the end of the day, I have bills to pay, and State 48 ain't one of them. You get what I'm saying? I
I
don't
get
want a
that.
woman that's going to want to be in my pocket, or we always got to go to some elegant upscale restaurant. But when all these women go on these posts and comment and say, "Oh, I want to go here," no, this ain't no good first date. Then guess what? I'm looking at three of them right here. If just say it was a dating show, I'm gonna be like, I don't need one. I'll be single before I sit here and feel like I gotta prove my love to you by taking you somewhere. Like
Mm-hmm.
fly me out. Take that ain't for everybody. You get what I'm saying? But
No,
this is the
I do.
new norm. This is sad. This is the new norm. And
it's the
like I
norm.
say, for the men, we got to fight that. We got to fight people just
No, you
throwing
don't.
money at these women. And women, you have to deal with what is this man's ulterior motives. You know what I'm saying?
Agendas.
Exactly.
Agenda. But at
What's
the end
his
of the
agenda?
day, that's why I said that piece comes in at. So, like, yeah, you don't take your guard off around that gate because it's pit bulls all the way around. You don't know what you're getting. But with time, if you give people time and space to show who they are, me at the end of the day, you know, I'd rather give someone the energy that may not be the most attractive guy in the world, but at the end of the day, I know I've been treated. Yeah, there's not too many women like that. I
Mhm.
get that piece,
I'm
but
I'm
at the end of the
with you
day,
on that. It ain't even about the looks.
it's
It's
not
about
even about the
how I
look.
feel around
Right,
you. Can I feel safe? Can I feel?
right,
You gonna make me laugh? It's those things. Because everything else is kind of like, girl, get me one that's about me, and we good. I'm settled.
right.
We good. But if you're gonna be
You
about
feed.
me, and then your other eye looking somewhere else, I don't have time for that. It's
Don't
I'm
time
too
for it.
old for that. Mm-mm.
It's levels to this thing. Me as a woman, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna come with a certain level of caliber when it comes to the guy that I'm entertaining. But if I know he's put me in a place that I feel safe, all of those things that he probably think most women won't do, it will get done because
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure he knows I appreciate him, I respect him, I value him. But at
Yes.
the end of the day, and it's one of those things, even as an independent, strong woman, like I'm gonna tell you now, it's hard because I'm so used to functioning on my own, operating a household, taking care of the kids, working 3 jobs, the whole nine. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so on it. But I think guys be saying, I want a woman that's my peace. In order for you to find a woman that's your peace, you have to be able to provide a piece so she's able to give that back to you in return. It's reciprocating off one off the other. So if
Mm-hmm.
my guy brings me peace, he brings me, a safe place. He fills those voids that I feel like I need as a woman, my love languages to help me thrive, to make me feel like at the end of the day, I don't have to worry. As far as his needs, he ain't got to worry about a doggone thing.
There it is. There it
It's
is.
It's creating a safe place on both ends. And I'm not saying it's always up to the man to do the work. It's not. It should be one feeding off the other. Should be one feeding off the other. He's taking me out to a movie, then at the end of the day, okay, I got dinner. Let's bob off each other that way. Okay, we're going on a trip. Okay, I got the cruise trip. Can you carry the flights on both ends?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's how it's supposed to be in a ideal world, but it's not. You
It's
get what I'm
not,
saying?
but it has to start somewhere, and that's the
Yeah,
part. It's conversation. It has to start somewhere. And
I
some
communication.
understand
people
that.
are gonna have to be taught that, because some people come from home settings. You want a kid that's never been taught love or communication or structure by their parents, and you're expecting them, which is only natural, to want to be in a relationship as they get older. You can't expect for them to give what they've never experienced.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
you know,
let me throw it back for a second. I hate to
throw it back.
backtrack, but it just dawned on me. This is just a general question that I'm asking you two ladies. But where did what are you bringing to the table come from?
Hmm. I don't think it's this new age generation, because back in the day, it was bringing to the table. It was the woman that was the homemaker, the wives that took care of the kids in the home, and it was the man that was a provider. I think it's this new age generation that has come up with the mindset that, based upon relationship dynamics, is based upon what you can do for me, not realizing a person can do for you in the beginning of the relationship, but the way the economy is set up, the way people's health is set up, that may change. So if you base what can you do for me based upon what he's able to do for in the beginning, or she, and something happens along the way and they can't give that to you in return.
And that's the problem. So let me ask you this, Miss T, because you look like you're pondering something over there. So I'm going to put you on the spot. So this man, you know what I'm saying, that likes to take these long walks around the park and don't watch NFL, you know what I'm saying? Y'all vibing.
Mm-hmm.
He got a job, he got a car, he got his own place and everything. Say, like you say, at the end of the day, things happen. He gets laid off. You know, a lot of people are getting laid off. You know, granted, yes, you're in a relationship. Yes, granted. Then now things, it may be a financial strain. I don't know what your dynamic is, but at the end of the day, you're going to feel a lot of that pressure, or you're going to feel, slighted or something. You're going to feel a certain type of way because he lost his job. Now, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying that he's not out here applying or he's not trying to get another job at the end of the day, but what I have seen is a lot of women get upset, and that's what ends relationships. Because guess what? Like she said, in the beginning of the relationship, everything was fine. Everybody came in on the same level. Then situations change, and
Mm-hmm.
and then, like I said before, no one wants to take care, and I say take care of a grown man. You get
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? It's
I
it's
do.
like a man should never have to ask a woman for anything, but it's okay for the woman to ask the man for everything. And I'm sorry, that's just how it has been.
Mm-hmm.
That is how it has been. I don't care what you say, how you slice it or dice it. We less than a man if we got to ask a woman for anything.
I, I,
I think
I'm.
that goes back to the type of woman you're dealing with. But go ahead, Miss T.
Mm-hmm. When I look at it,
Well, who I'm dating, grannies?
oh my gosh, you.
I don't know. It sounds
Mhm.
like if the ones you're dating may need to be recycled for someone else to pick up.
I mean, it's I don't have an issue with if my man lost his job and we've been dating for he's being responsible. He is a good provider and he is one that makes things happen. I get that. I got him. I got this tattoo on my foot and I didn't realize it when I got it, but it was I just got
I told you
Proverbs
that's the next
31.
podcast.
Oh my God. Proverbs 31 wife. I'm a wife. So when I'm looking at someone, I'm not looking at fly by night, quick, let me just hit that and go ahead on. That's not me. I'm looking for a keeper. When I put my time in someone, I'm sizing him up as that role. So if he lost his position or whatever, it's baby, I got you. Let me help
Hmm.
you. Let me keep him built up. Let me keep him pumped up to the point of okay, well, how can I help you with another, with the applications? What can I do to help? Pumping him up to the point of he don't get comfortable in the fact of, pity party and this and that. No, I got you. Come on. I hold this as heavy as it is until you get onto your next thing, or you make a way for yourself. Maybe it's time for you to go strike out and do your own thing. That's the type of individual I am. And so when I'm listening to you, it's kind of like there are some women to be like, oh, okay, so the honey doesn't stop. Okay,
Yeah.
and that whole everything changed. Mine is like, if we come into it right here, we're on the same wavelength and all of that. I got you. And I hope he has me at this point right here when we're coming in with the same agenda. Mm-mm. But if we're on two different pages, the last doctor guy I dated, I'm always doing a test because I want to see exactly what is being, how is he receiving the messages that I put out there. And I stay on the second floor in this apartment, stay on the second floor. And the water, when I like my water bought certain kind, 40 bottles in a pack. So I bring it, he'll come, he came and he drunk it. And the next time he came, it was down to about maybe 2 or 3 bottles. And he came in, he said, "Oh, you ain't got no water?" I said, "No, I don't have any more bottles." I did it on purpose. His conversation was, "I wish you had went out and got some earlier."
Mm.
Not saying that, if you know you were gonna drink it when you come, go ahead and bring some on your way up because you know you're gonna be swallowing it when you come in. So I sat and I looked and I was like, wow, really? So next time he came, it won't no water. But see, I had his some for me, but I wanted to see what he was gonna do. Oh, dog, you ain't got no water. Not let me go out and get some and I'll be right back. No, it was more or less like, well, I'll talk to you later then. I'm gonna go ahead and go on home. Over some water? I couldn't understand that. So he came with no forward thinking to the point of you ain't even thinking about me. You up here swallowing up my water, knowing that it's
Ooh,
simple and it's
look at
small,
Miss
but
T eyebrows.
you swallowing up
Ooh.
my water, and all you had to do was bring
Look,
a six pack on
I'm gonna
your.
send you some water. I'm gonna send you some water. Cause you look thirsty right now, Miss T. You hot
All I'm
about that
saying is
water.
be a forward
Hold
thinker.
that
Just
thought.
he going to get
I
some
cannot
water.
stand him. I cannot stand him.
He going to
I
get some
cannot.
water.
I cannot. I cannot. Ain't no telling what he get ready to come up with. You see how he already started the podcast before it even got started.
But
Oh gosh. See that you don't look, Miss T, he didn't even went and got that brand. That ain't even your brand, is it?
Don't worry, Miss T. I ain't gonna swallow your water up. Don't worry.
it's just the when you
It's
think
the
about it,
principle.
it's the principle of the matter. You're not
It's the
thinking about
principle.
me at all, but you're gonna come here and swallow up my
With yourself.
water to the point of you can't bring any when you come, knowing you're gonna be drinking it, knowing you're gonna ask me for it. I couldn't. After then, it was just a thing of, are you serious? Are you serious?
Miss T,
Mm-mm.
I think that's something that women commonly do because I find myself, I don't really do it as a test, but it's just to see what your response is, to see where your energy is, to see where your vibe is. And the more that I see that it's more so self-centered, it is like it pulls me back. It pulls me back, be like, okay, and I have sessions even with women that's going through relationship problems, and they'll say, Miss Scott, my man won't do X, Y, and Z. I'm sitting here working 2 jobs. I'm asking him to at least get a part-time job to at least help with pull part of the weight. And his mindset is, I'm not doing X, Y, and Z. As a man, I understand that certain jobs you don't want to do. And even as a woman, there's certain jobs you don't want to do. Mouths to feed. It don't matter what type of job that is. You got to work. You got to work. So things when it comes to dating, I may do certain things not to play games, but I need
Mm-hmm.
to see what caliber of person that I'm dealing with because at the end of the day, forever, marriage is forever. And I think people are sort of steered away from that piece. They get into something because something doesn't go right, they're ready to hightail it. No, I'm viewing the whole aspect of a
Mm-hmm.
person Because at the end of the day, if I say I do, I know what I'm getting in my full package. I don't want to get in and I don't order this full package and there's a year in later and there's, oh, I don't have this, this, and this and that. Okay, well, if I would have taken time as a woman to look at all of that to see if that's something I wanted to entertain or not entertain, then I would have known at the end of the day not to jump in this marriage.
Got to do the work. Got to
Yeah.
do the due diligence. And with this relationship, it was more or less on the end of. He was on his way out, definitely with the water. He was on his way out with the water, and it was just more or less a thing of just how can you see, what's the vision actually? What does it look like to be in a committed relationship? What does that mean? Different definitions of being a girlfriend and boyfriend this year. There's different
Hmm.
definitions. Oh, we cool. What? Okay, what does that mean? You don't introduce me
We
to
kicking it.
anyone. What level are we at? Oh, that's my girl. Okay, so that means that there's we got
Yeah, but
a.
see, that's what I'm saying. Yet again, no one takes relationships serious anymore. There are no such thing as titles. Everything now is
Oh,
what's
wow.
understood don't need to be explained.
Be explained. Oh, I'm sick of that. I'm gonna tell you the other one I'm sick of. Oh, we're vibing. What the heck is a freaking vibe? What is what is we're vibing? I
See, I
mean,
know
what does
I'm
that
out of
mean?
the loop because
I,
Right, yeah,
I was
we're
about to say,
vibing.
you know
We're
what?
kicking
I've
it.
come to the conclusion that we need to get some younger people on the podcast because
Oh,
we
we can do
all
that.
we
yeah,
age.
yeah, because I'm out of the loop with the vibe and this and that. I need to know where I
Honey,
stand because
honey, that's what I was told. People say I'm vibing, and I'm like, okay, what does vibing mean? You can talk to who you want to talk to. I can talk to who I want to. But if this kicks off on this relationship aspect, you can't get mad at me because you ain't put a title on it. And that's that goes back with communication because there's no clear definition in today's time of what dating looks like. There's no clear communication in place of expectations on both ends. There's no, and here's my other pet peeve when it comes to dating. There's this concept of like telling people at the end of the day, oh, I've gone through X, Y, and Z. I'm not getting ready to tell my partner that piece. Now I can understand to a certain extent because at the end of the day, you don't want that person to use like, oh, she put up with this, this, and this, and this. So I
uh-huh,
know I can get away with this. But
uh,
at the same aspect, when it comes to like trying to build, if your man don't know you've been traumatized, if you don't know that this dude don't went upside your head, if you don't know that this dude portrayed some of the same behaviors that he's doing not knowing that's associated with your ex, how can he fix it? But then you have to worry about, and you have to worry about that if you do share certain stuff with people, oh, so you trying to sound like that lame dude that you was with because he now you throwing stuff in my face. I trusted you with something valuable for you to utilize as a way to build this relationship, and you've used it to you slit my throat with my
mhm,
own words that I've shared with you.
mhm.
Ah, what
The
happened?
woes of dating. The woes of dating.
I ain't read my I forget. Oh,
The woes of dating.
oh,
I,
I,
did Poe
I
come up?
hear all types of stories.
Oh, he
you
said he was
are not
coming
the
up.
only one, dear.
He wanted to come over to
I
the.
just feel like I'm out of the loop when it comes to,
Oh,
I hate to say what men want. And I don't think the Claire Huxtables and things like that, I don't think that's what's in right now. I think it's the open relationships. It's the, let me just,
The polygamy.
let me just hit that every once in a while. And, I don't know. I'm just not in that. I'm not in that
I'm
realm.
not even in it.
Mm-mm.
wait a minute, I heard Claire Huxtable. That's my boo.
I don't think that type of woman is in right now. I'm looking at it
For
like,
who? For
huh?
who?
I'm just saying,
For
who looking
who?
for Claire Huxtable? Because that's, I'm looking like, I'm not
Me.
trying.
Me. That's who.
Miss T, I think the problem at the end of the day is that as a woman, we see certain aspects that we see when it comes to men, and then him, NFL young boy, seeing certain calibers that he see when it comes to women, and the crossover between understanding both sides because we haven't experienced the other side to know what each side is dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
That that's so I think like I would like to do a part two of this to be honest. I would like to do a part two, but mix it up with like a group of young ones, like 20 something year old, as far as their mindset and what they're going through dating, and then
Ooh,
someone of our caliber. I think that would be dope.
I'm gonna have to have two
I'm here
safe
for it.
words.
You gonna have what?
I'm gonna have to have two safe words.
Don't you say pineapples either, because I'm sick of you.
You know what? I'm gonna keep my comments to myself.
You
But
gonna have
no,
to.
seriously. At the end of the day, like I said, we're a different generation. Our,
Right.
we're starting to phase out. We're from the same generation. We know what it takes to make something work. It's trying to get this younger generation to understand that, and
Yeah.
they're not going to do that because it's not the end thing to do. That's why I say when this fad runs out, then everything else is going to come back. Just like the clothes, they were in,
I don't
they were tacky. Now they're coming back around.
I don't know if I see that piece because like clothing or fads, they're definitely gonna recycle itself, but damage individuals, all they're doing is finding other pieces. Like I'll look at it, like people now, they're doing polygamy, they're freaking having sex with animals. Like,
I
what
ain't
can
got
an
nothing to do with.
animal do?
But okay, so hear
But
me out.
they're
But hear me out. Just think about it. And it's nothing
I'm
against
thinking, I'm
you
listening.
ladies. It's nothing against you ladies' professions. But when we were growing up, granted, it may be why we are the way we are now, half crazy, whatever. Say what you want. But I had a discussion with some of my youth, and I asked them, I'm like, well, just period. Back in the day when we were in school, we had a guidance counselor. That was it. We didn't have psychs and all this other stuff to where we can go. Dr. Phil was our psych. Go lay on his couch. You know what I mean? Watch him at 5 o'clock in the evening. That was our shrink. But now I have kids that have therapy twice a week. Like,
Mhm.
where did that? And I hate to say it as a trend because I know there is a serious epidemic with this. But when did that become the norm? Because guess what? I played at school and came home and played, and I was fine. Now all of a sudden, now these kids have to have therapy sessions twice a week.
Mhm.
These kids have
Mhm.
to see somebody. When did that become the norm? So, like, trends are different. They change. When our relationships were good relationships, when our parents were together, things were good. You know, now that things aren't good, now there's a lot of trauma. Guess what? I was raised by women. My father wasn't. My stepfather raised me, but my dad wasn't in my life. I think I turned out pretty good. You know why? Because I made it a point to not be who he was.
Right.
You know, granted,
You're a pretty good guy
I
outside of the
didn't,
pineapple
I,
comment, but go
I
ahead.
didn't, I didn't see that, and I didn't let my environment create me. If you understand, like you're not a product of your
Mhm.
environment. I wanted to be better than that, but now everyone is a product of their environment, and
Mm.
we're weak. The mind is weak now. It's not as strong as it was back then, and
But look,
relationships aren't as strong as they were back then. I know people who are married just for financial gain. I know one of my good
yeah,
friends and his wife only married for business purposes.
Mhm. Mhm.
That is not what I want,
right.
you know. And I ain't trying to be funny, and I understand. Lord, please forgive me, but the Bible says, "Hey, help me." I don't even want to help me. I want somebody to love me. That's it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, that part. Because if you find someone to love you, loving comes along with helping.
All the other stuff comes with it.
All the other pieces are connected.
Mhm.
Um, I think, and to go back on the therapy piece, it is more commonly that kids are in therapy, but the problem is there's only a small portion of individuals, especially when it comes, and Miss T can probably vouch. You have a little bit more receiving therapy and asking for help, but it still is a small portion to the larger portion of individuals that's been traumatized. So at the end of the day, you have a small fragment. It goes back to like those family dynamics. You have the old school way of dating, that's a small fragment. Then you have this new school. You have a small fragment of young folks that's getting, there's a whole slew of other young folks that's been traumatized, that they're, and I hear it so often. Oh, I smoke weed to cope with life because I don't want to feel. I drink because I don't want to cope with
Mhm.
life. They join gangs to cope with life because they never got that connection piece from their family to know. And not saying that's the case, because a lot of these young kids now are just following the trend just because their friends are doing it, or
Mhm.
because they want to feel safe in the school setting, in the school system, and that's a whole nother topic. Is not
Mhm.
doing what's needed to provide a safe environment for these kids. Um, but until we are able to collectively at once try to gather as many people as we possibly can to have
Mhm.
conversations, change perspectives, allow people to see another side of the table. Is I think it's always going to be this rat wheel constantly running but never catching up to ever get to the
Correct.
the start of things to where things start to stabilize.
All
Mhm.
right. So I said that, granted, to get off the subject, just to bring it back. So we didn't. No, I'm serious. I did that. You know. So now here we are in a relationship. Now we got to go to therapy, couples therapy.
Mm.
Because something ain't right in the relationship. Guess what? My mom and dad never went to couples therapy. They were fine.
They didn't have therapy back then like that, Miss T, didn't they? Like
It,
wasn't
it was the
commonly.
church. They went to the church.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do the
that's what I'm
church.
saying. But that's what I'm saying. So now when a relationship isn't working, now you got to go to couples therapy so somebody else can point out your flaws and your insecurities.
Hmm.
But that
But
shouldn't be
that's not.
that's what should be discussed between you and your mate to help each other,
Somebody else in your
not
business.
somebody exactly.
I get that piece, but what if you come from a partner where no matter how much you express yourself, especially if you have someone, and anybody that know me know that's my word, someone is narcissistic. I
Go
actually,
go ahead, cause I'm finna go
but
ahead.
what if you come from a background where you're trying to make your marriage work? You're trying to make your marriage work. You're doing everything. You're communicating as what you feel like, and it's not saying like it's not telling your partner like, oh, you're wrong. This is like, I feel this way. I feel this way. I don't like when you do this. Can you stop doing this? And everything is always a you. So sometimes, sometimes it is good to have someone to come in and put things in perspective in a way. Let's say I'm not one to communicate well, and I'm trying to tell my partner what I'm feeling, and my partner's not understanding. So having someone like a Miss Taylor T in place to put things into perspective for them to understand, I think is a good thing. Not to put people in your business, not putting people in your business, but as a way of saying, okay, what your spouse is trying to tell you is X, Y, and Z
Hmm.
because of this, and this. I also think is important, and this is the thing I don't, because I used to do marital camp, not married. I used to be, used to have to go for marital counseling when I once was married. And what I commonly saw with therapists when it came to marital counseling, I absolutely hate it because it was a they were so focused on trying to point the finger on each other to get someone to say who was right and who was wrong. At the end of the day, it don't matter. What's done is what's been done. It should be a whole concept of, okay, these are things that cause the marriage to go wrong,
Uh-huh.
and then each partner taking accountability on their part of what role they played, and then from there it goes, okay, we have our marital counseling to discuss those components, but how about we need to go individually to therapy to individually work those out, so when we come back together, the
Hmm.
things that caused the marriage to break apart is now fixed.
Can,
That's
can I
how it should be done.
can I play devil's advocate? Because
Sure.
yet again, there's a method to my madness. I said all that to say this. Back to what you guys said. You done got married. Now you're at marriage counseling. He ain't check off your boxes, or did he check off your boxes?
But see,
Uh,
you go, hold on, I'm getting ready to go
uh,
there with you. Don't this
nah.
ain't Master
No,
P.
no,
This
I'm
ain't
just saying.
Master P.
But hold on, just hear me
This
though.
ain't Master P. Hold up.
But
Because
no,
I'm getting
but
ready to
just
answer
hear me
your
out.
question.
Hold on, just hear me out. But like I said, how long did it take before that mask came off and you got to see who that person was? Like, can it just not be that? Guess what? This just didn't work. You just wasn't.
T, I'm ready.
That wasn't your helpmate, right or wrong.
No, that's not right. Because at the end of the day, the foundation of who your partner is the foundation. But at the end of the day, when you're exposed to certain environments, it's like erosion. You go through and you're on land, and that water slowly over time it changes it. So it's not the same structure that it used to be. So the same thing with relationships and individuals. In the beginning, the foundation of who that person is, it should be who they are. If their core principle is their stand-up guy, they're loyal, they're you know, those components. But environmental changes, things as time goes, it changes that person. You're not going to be the same exact person from the beginning that you're going to be 20 years from now. So with
Gotta
that
move
being
and
said,
shift. Hmm.
as those changes take place, there may be things that it could be jobs. It's men I know that when they lose their job, it takes away from their self-worth. They feel like they're no longer a man. Do you know how much that impacts them? Do you know how
Mm-hmm.
much that shapes their mental health, how that affects the family dynamics? Now he don't want to be bothered with the wife, he don't want to be bothered with the kids, he want to be left alone. That's a major piece of erosion that changes that person. So yeah, therapy is needed. It has nothing to do with that he's not a good man. He's gone through some things that has negatively shaped him and it's taken away from his value, and he don't know where to find it.
Mm-hmm. And his health
So,
can
but
change as well. What if
but
his health changed and
but
he
that's what I'm
dealing with
saying. So now, and not trying to be funny, but all I'm hearing is him, he, him, he.
Oh my
Why not
goodness.
we? It's a
It goes
relationship.
it's a
for
shift. We both
example
have to be able to
purposes.
I can
shift.
do that
It's
too,
both.
Chrissy. I can do that too, Chrissy. I don't care about you flipping your hair.
Oh my gosh.
Miss T, flip yours.
I, oh, you got jokes.
No, no,
Then
I ain't got none.
you ain't got to worry about me getting up in the morning and putting mine on the shit. This is it. This is it, sir. Okay.
Tell him Miss T don't come for you.
This is it. Don't come for me. And you can run your hands through it. It's
Oh, I can't with y'all. I can't.
no, it's
Miss T, you
mm.
want a
Now,
bottle of water?
You know what? Yes, I do. I appreciate that. I really do. It's the little things. It's the
it's a
little.
little thing.
It's the little things. I didn't say a bottle of wine. I get just a bottle of water. Just
Yeah,
it's the
where you
little
see me
things.
empty at and you come over, just fill it back up. I
That's
shouldn't have
it.
to ask you.
That's
I
it.
shouldn't
If
have to ask.
you come
Setting up
over
dates,
here and
shouldn't have to ask.
if you know that I'm working late or whatever, and you come in and you like, you know what, she don't need to cook nothing tonight. We may not go out, but hey, it's nothing wrong with stopping by
Bam.
or even leaving a message saying, hey, let me bring something on the way in. Don't come here knowing I'm still working and you're gonna sit and look at me tomorrow. You cooking anything? I don't see nothing laid out anywhere. You what?
Ooh, child.
What? No, no, sir.
And
No,
again,
sir.
as a disclosure, these comments and statements is not gender specific. It's examples explaining scenarios. Before
Good
NFL
save.
young boy have Chrissy painted out that I have a thing against black men or men in general. No, that's not the case.
I don't
These are
know.
scenarios.
I guarantee you, Miss T, next time, one of her questions is going to be, do you like bottled water?
I see right now. I'm gonna have to be careful with the examples that I use, but it was a
Exactly.
real life story, real life scenarios. And with that last piece that you were mentioning, as far as how does he, add up to my list and checklist and all of that. As I age, as he age, things are gonna change, but we both have to be willing to shift and go along with that change. If I'm with
Mhm.
someone that can't flow with me, wanting to have my hair red and it's been black and gray all this time, and I come home and it's red and you can't, we have to shift and change. We have to be able to, oh, I can deal with you and you want to wear that one little piece of hair that you don't want to get rid of, cat all the way back in the ponytail. You bald right here. And if I can deal with that, it's kind of like a thing of
Hey,
we have to both be able to shift and change.
is that the same example as the water, or this another example? Because that sounds a little real right there. Woo.
No.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and let you know.
Tell them to take the mask off, Miss T.
Take your man. Take off your man.
Take out.
Hey, look, this is my disclaimer. The views and topics that have been discussed by NFL young boy do not reflect.
Oh my
man.
goodness, you are fun. You are fun. This is good. This is good.
Definitely good, and definitely one that I'm certainly hope that I can get some young folks on to get their perspective on things. Because when you hear other people talk, you learn. I mean, as therapists, I already know a lot of the demographics and things and stuff that's going on now is definitely tied back to their upbringing. And I connect that piece. But sometimes people have to hear that piece openly, have candid conversations so they're able to learn, like, oh, okay, that's how that goes. Or,
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't necessarily agree with that. This is why. And then even from my angle, even though we're older, don't mean that we're not in a position to learn.
Mm-hmm.
They may be able to teach us some things that we hadn't really taken into consideration. So I'm definitely open to that. And then we can have NFL young boy. I don't know if his name is gonna change to stay the same, but.
Oh boy,
We'll see.
what is
That's
the
if
We'll
I.
see.
real you?
This is me. You better ask. You better ask Chrissy.
This is
Okay,
him all day, every day.
This is me.
You heard the conversation before the podcast started, didn't you?
I did. I did, and I was like, okay,
I definitely appreciated you guys on the podcast. I especially
thank
appreciate
you.
the time. I know we went over, but I definitely enjoyed the conversation. I want to end on one note. If you had one bit of advice to give to our listeners, our viewers out there in regards to relationships, what would that be?
Wow, wow.
Oh, did I tie you up with that one, Miss T?
You tied me up with that one. You tied
Well,
me up with that one.
well, while you put your thinking cap on, I'm gonna go ahead and say mine. My bit of advice would be always just keep an open mind and just give someone a chance. Don't be so narrow minded or base past experiences. Don't let your past dictate your future. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? A lot of,
Right.
like I say, a lot of hurt can make you miss out on a blessing because you're either scared or what you're going to say what you're not going to put up with, and that's not even going to allow someone the opportunity because you automatically think. Just don't let your past dictate your future.
Awesome.
I like that. I'm gonna let that one stand because with me it's still, that and being true to yourself and don't allow, someone to say, well, I need to find somebody to help me change or make me better or do those things for yourself first and don't look for someone else to complete you to make you feel. Mm-mm. I have started calling myself love. Okay, love, we got this love. Because if I'm looking for somebody to say that whatever I put in my life is kind of like what I'm expecting to receive back to me from a
Mhm.
true heart. So I'm working on me to the point of when he do come. Oh, it's the truth.
So
Yeah.
now on the next podcast, it's not going to be Miss T. It's going to be Love. She P Diddy Love.
I knew he was ready to come up with something. He got an answer.
I'm gonna stay true. I'm gonna stay true to Taylor T.
Awesome.
Okay,
And I
love.
think I think if I had a bit of advice for people in the community, I think it starts from the beginning. Starting from the beginning starts with self. Starting with self is
Mm,
recognizing what areas you're flawed in, what areas you're struggling with. I'm big on awareness. If you're not aware of those struggles that you have, what barriers you faced in the past, whether it's family or whether it's with current relationships, it's hard to go into a new relationship on a fresh foot. And even on that fresh foot, make sure that you're mindful and respectful of where you're trying to go with this relationship. If your
mhm,
intentions are not there in the beginning, with just trying to be true and honest and trying to get to know this person genuinely, please do this other person a major, major, major honor and remove yourself. Disclose that piece. Don't continue to pass on repeated
wow.
traumas from one person to another simply because you have a void that you need to fill, and that void is looking at someone based upon their financial situation or their appearance or the fact that they can
Mm,
hold conversations knowing that your intentions is not good with them. So that would be my advice.
Can I
love.
jump in and say one more? I'm sorry. It just dawned on me.
Sure.
And this is a serious
Yes.
note. For my young people, especially for my fellas, learn how to communicate. Learn how to express yourself. Talk. Use your words. And for the ladies, allow them the opportunity to. express themselves. That's it.
Look at
Thank you
him.
so much for
Mm.
that piece. Y'all definitely dropped jewels today. I like to thank you guys. I know things started off a little hectic today. We had a few other guests that were supposed to come on, but it was still solid with our discussion and our
No, it
conversation.
wasn't. I got beat up.
It doesn't take a whole slew of individuals to have candid conversations. All it takes is two people conversing and sharing perspectives that maybe
Mhm.
someone else has not taken time to consider.
Mhm.
Again, I'm looking to continue these candid conversations. I'm looking to have guests. Is there something that you want to come on and have a topic on? Please email me at voicesofreason7@gmail.com.
I want to
I'm
talk about
hopeful
bottled
that
water.
Miss Taylor T and NFL Youngboy will be open to coming back again on our next podcast. I think our next podcast coming up, I have one on the financial aspect that's coming up soon, and I also have another one that's coming up is NFL Youngboy. What is it? The older versus the younger generation with conversations and parenting and things of that
Yep,
sort of things.
correct.
So I'm excited about, especially with those two podcasts coming up. And I'm hoping to figure out other topics of discussion that is going to change perspectives one conversation at a time. Again, this is Chrissy with Voices of Reasons. Also follow me on Chrissy's Place of Refuge. Miss Taylor T, I want to give you an NFL young boy the opportunity. If there is anything that you want to share as far as your professional platform for individuals to follow you, if they have questions or if they want therapy, you're more than welcome to do so.
I am my therapy site is www.agoodmindcounseling.com. I'm on TikTok. I am Taylor T. I am, let's see, here's one more. Facebook. It's Taylor T. And I am seeing new clients right now. I got a little small slots open for my private practice. So I am open for anyone in North Carolina. Look me up.
Awesome. NFL young boy, you got anything for us? Deuces. And of course, this is Chrissy, of course. If you follow me on Chrissy's Place of Refuge, I do have a platform that I utilize as well for outpatient therapy. I'll soon be connected to growth therapy as well. So right now I'm connected through Headway and growth therapy. And if there's any questions that you have personally in regards to therapy, you can email me personally at CASSETTA Scott2@gmail.com. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your perspectives. I definitely appreciate it. And as far as this podcast, if you like it, you love it, please share, please comment. We would definitely appreciate the feedback. Peace. Until next time.